Good afternoon. Thank you so much for introduction and to all the panelists, to all the delegates here. I'm just going to quickly run you through what we do. We wear two hats. We are a fleet operator also for electric vehicles, and while we were wearing that hat, we also realized that we could be a charge point operator because there was no reliable charging infra. But anyway, with all the panel guests, everybody, what they say is that we need to do this, we need to do that. But in the last 4 years, I will just quickly highlight what we have actually done. 2015 is the first e-Verito, which, we were the first ones to launch e-Veritos in Delhi NCR. And since then, we have been now in 4 cities, and we have done about 5 million kilometers through four-wheelers. So I will only talk about four-wheelers because this is what we are doing. And out of the use case scenarios in India for electric mobility, we are the end users. So 3 use case scenarios basically. One is Olas and Ubers of the world, so electric vehicles can go on to these cab aggregator platforms. Second is the employee transportation, and third is the freight, which is like Swiggy's, Zomato's of the world, and IKEA and Amazon, the deliveries. So out of the 3 use case scenarios, we are already present in 2 use case in India already. We do corporate mobility for our clients, their employee mobility, and we are also a national strategic partner for Uber in Delhi NCR and Hyderabad with a lot of technological integration. It is just not like a vanilla fleet company. So while we were doing this 5 million kilometers, it is just a stat which we want to say. We've saved about 4 lakh liters of fuel, 1,200 metric tons of carbon emission has been abated. We have done more than 7,000 trees has been planted. Also what we do for our corporates is, we just don't go there and tell them that, hey, you're using 400 cabs to, transport about 1,600 employees. We take all their data from that, convert that into latitude and longitude, and we do the same job for them from 400 cabs to 350 cabs. So not only we are cutting down on emissions, but we are also reducing congestion on roads. We do the same job, with intelligent algorithms with lesser number of cars. So we may see that, the electricity is generated through coal and all that, but majorly when the cities are choking through pollution, we may be shifting our pollution from the cities to where the coal, electricity is being manufactured. But for now, what the government is pushing for, what the need of the hour is, we are doing it for last 4 years, and ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it's a scalable and it's a sustainable model. We are making money while driving electric four-wheelers for our corporates, and as a cab aggregator, we are partnered with the cab aggregator, and there also we are making money. And until we prove this model is successful and is scalable, it is not going to drive value. Mass adoption is only going to come when, all the taxi operators, when a single driver purchases a car and then puts it onto a cab aggregator or goes to a corporate and say, hey, I have bought an electric vehicle and I want to run it, the total cost of ownership between an IC engine and an electric vehicle has to be bridged. And this is what we have been trying to showcase to everybody in the last 4 years, that if you sweat the asset more, you can bridge the gap between the IC engine vehicle and an electric vehicle within 1 year's time. With the government fiscal and non-fiscal incentives which are coming into play, like the GST reduction and all those things, EV tariff going down, I think that if you sweat your asset for about 72,000 kilometers or 75,000 kilometers a year, you can, bridge that gap within 1 year's time. So this is what we have been doing. Public charging infra is required. So let's say if I go to a corporate and tell that I'm going to put 50 cars here and we would need charging stations. There are few corporates who are in SEZs, and there are few corporates which are in a mixed sort of facility. They may not allow us to set up a charging station at their compound. So we need to have a off-site, maybe a captive site, and wherever our vehicles are going, we need to have a public charging infra. So I'll give you a use case scenario. We were called by IOC, we were called by HPCL, and see the permutation combinations in the charging infra side. IOCL retail outlet site, charger has been set up by REIL. It was sourced through Exicom or Delta, and the technology provider is somebody else. So for example, if I am an end user today, IOCL has its own app, HPCL has its own app, Fortum has its own app. As an end user, am I going to stay wherever I am and log in and log out of all the apps looking at where my charging infra is? there will be multiple charge point operators. So where we come into picture is we are going to IOCL, we are going to HPCL, and we're trying to tell them that interoperability of charges is very important. We have partnered with somebody who, in charging technology, who's based out of Netherlands. They already manage 60,000 chargers. So our chargers, captive chargers, can also be visible onto somebody else's website or app. Their chargers should also be visible onto my website and my app. And ultimately, the asset, again, as a charger, has to be utilized. As an owner of the charger, if I'm creating a public charging infra or a captive charging infra, setting up a charging infra may be easy, but if the customers are not going to come and charge, it was the whole point of setting up a charging infra. So asset utilization is the key, whether it's an EV or whether it's a charging infra. And I take pride in saying that in this four-wheeler segment, we have been making money. It's a scalable and a sustainable model. Renewable energy, electricity production, renewable energy will come, various government organizations and think tanks are working on it. It's okay, I'm not running through the presentation anyway. So that will come into play, but whatever is on the plate right now, we are trying to connect all the dots. We are trying to create an ecosystem where it is visible to everybody that, running an electric vehicle with the right technology, with the right, diagnostics, if we can see what is the status of charge, what is the distance to empty, we can plan the trips accordingly. Back to back, we can see the charging stations, what is the nearest charging station, whether it's available or it is not available. We see all the CNG lines. It's a 1 kilometer line if somebody wants to go and, fill up a CNG tank. But here, with our technology, what we have created, we brought everything together under one dashboard. All our fleet drivers, fleet partners, can see which charger is nearest to that location and whether it is available down for maintenance or somebody else has plugged it in or not. So we, optimize efficiency from all these operations. And if we are not able to optimize the efficiency of the car, we are not going to run the car more, there will be more downtimes, and the whole model will collapse. So ultimately, to sweat the asset, all these technology agnostic things have to be in a collaboration, rather than everybody will say that I will not share my API integrations with somebody else's. Then, it's an evolving model. We are also learning as we are going. This is a journey for the last 4 years which we have done. But this is a journey where we have reached that we are running it very successfully. Thank you so much.